We were going for a job, and this policeman stopped me, collected my phone, and was searching. Whereby Inspector General of Police have said it on Twitter. Why? Why will you break it? What did I do to you? What did I do to you? What did I do to you? The Inspector General of Police have said you should not search our phones. Why are you searching my phone? Why are you searching my phone? The Inspector General of Police have said they should not search phones. Why are you searching my phone? Why are you searching my phone? Why are you searching my phone? He said I should give you my phone. Why are you searching my phone? Why are you slapping me? See them, that's how they used to do. Sir, please, I'm not talking to you.
I collect money, I go collect better money. And they collect change. Now, I know they hide down. I'm not there. Talk out now.
What will do for
talk, if you know it, I will tell you, I'm a customer and I'm a market with you. Now, here they say.
Police force is a regimented organization. We have code of conduct, we have ethics, we have rules guiding our administrative and operational activities in Nigeria. We have a system in Nigeria Police Force. We have a system in Nigeria, and these systems work. It's a criminal offense for a policeman who has been saddled with responsibility of maintenance of law and order, representing the government to enforce law in this country, to engage in such criminal acts. We condemn that in totality. We have not sent our men to road, to any beat, to any duty, to go and extort innocent Nigerians. We have a system that works, we have our standard, and we have rules governing the operations of Nigerian Police Force. So we want to urge members of the public, when you come across people like this in the police, our officers who are actually going out of their bounds, either on highway or at various locations while discharging their duties, trying to extort Nigerians, please inform the Nigerian Police Force. We want to appeal to Nigerians to please be on the same page with us. It is our responsibility to sanitize this system. It's going to be a collective responsibility to have the Nigerian Police Force of our dream, and that's one we all deserve to have in this country.
26-year-old Jenifer Tsembe allegedly slays Stephanie Se-Ember Terungwa, a National Youth Service member in Abuja.
It's like a mystery. So while we're on the case, we're now like, okay, how do we unravel this case? The phone of the lady in question, that was how we put up our other devices, which led us to a soft target who led us to the principal suspects.
Discreet and painstaking investigation by tactical and intelligence assets of the command attached to the homicide section of the State Criminal Investigation Department, State CID, led to the arrest of 3 suspects, namely Jenifer Tsembe, a 26-year-old female. You can see her there. Monday Simon, otherwise known as Black, a 36-year-old male, is also there.
I was very surprised. I don't know that this thing is going to be like that.
And Solomon Abu, a male of about 35 years of age, is also there. All the residents of Oguta Lake, Maitama area of the FCT, who criminally conspired and murdered the victim to separate her from Edward.
Last week, we commenced the story of a female National Youth Service Corps member who was brutally assassinated by her rival over her husband's tussle in Abuja. The prime suspect and her accomplices are in remand. But the story is not over yet. This week, we extensively bring to you the extent to which the police can go into an investigation.
Social media is something of good, that come into trend, but a lot of evil activities, gathering information about your lifestyle, your family, where you live, how you move, is now what people do on social media, especially the criminal elements in the society. Stop posting your family picture, your lifestyle on social media. You think you are impressing somebody. You don't know who is monitoring you. You don't know who is observing your movements, who is tracking you. So it's better for us to be safe and protect ourselves and our loved ones. We should desist from it.
In an interview by crime fighters with the officer in charge of the Homicide Section of FCT Command Criminal Investigation Department, SCID, CSP Sherifat Olubusayo would throw more light on the case.
Initially, we're still presuming Stephanie to be alive. She now said is one of the culprits named Solomon that went away with Stephanie. Okay, where is Solomon? She said Solomon is not available in Abuja. He's in Niger State. So we tried to contact Solomon on phone. Through our phone, we asked her to be chatting up. We have to take over the chatting between her and the Solomon. Solomon was claiming that he doesn't have transportation. We have to part with 5,000 naira for him to come to Abuja, not to make him suspicious.
It would interest you to know how this case, initially lodged as a case of a missing person, metamorphosed into culpable homicide. We would look at the mind of the prime suspect, Jennifer, through the detailed explanation of the investigator.
We started from the known to the unknown. We saw a body of a young lady, I would say, and then we started gathering information from other sources. And luckily, you know, have a lot of technology today that can enhance or assist in discovering so many things that would have ordinarily be hidden forever. But this time around, we got information as to the fact that the body was, I think the lower part we saw, we saw this youth Corper's uniform. So that's why we started tracing this. And eventually, we got to the point where we were sure that that was the youth Corper that was declared missing.
They were both working together in the same office. So we now asked her what happened. She said she was dating the father of Stephanie's son, that they were in a relationship for 7 years, and suddenly she found out that the guy was now trying to avoid her for no reason, and she tried to reach out to the guy, that the guy was not forthcoming. So suddenly that she saw the posts on the Facebook wall of the guy celebrating a baby boy, but he did not mention whether it's his son, but the sisters also celebrated the boy, that their little nephew. So she was able to add 1 + 1 to get her answer. And later she saw Stephanie with the baby's picture that was snapped inside the house. So that she was able to now think and discover that the child belongs to Edward.
We got to know that she was living with, I would say, her husband. You know, she had a baby, and the father of that baby is the person she was staying with. So we traced this matter to that, and along the line, it became clear to us that that lady was living with a man, and the stories that follow, I think the more important thing is where we got information as to the baby that was dropped in the church. So we traced that, and we're able to arrive at who took that baby to the church.
The investigator would also provide details on how Jennifer stalked the deceased through social media, posed as the younger sister of the victim's husband, and lured her to an uncompleted building.
And based on that, she was mad, and that was what made her to now start feeling desperate, that she now decided to discuss it with one of the culprits, which is Solomon. When she discussed it with Solomon, that Solomon now came up with an idea to consult all the malams to know whether it was a charm that Stephanie used on Mr. Edward. Then in the course of that, he came back and he was told it was Stephanie's mom that did something to entice Edward to Stephanie. So she too was now like looking for a way out, that she needs a man.
From the trackings we did, we were also able to pin down some persons who were involved in this.
Jennifer had hatched a plan with her accomplices to abduct the victim, either to get ransom as compensation from the victim's husband for use and dumped charges while they were in a courtship, or to remove Stephanie from the picture so she could rekindle the relationship and have the man at the center of it all to herself.
At this stage, we'll still say that the matter is still under investigation, even though we have done so much, more than 80% of what's expected of us. But we still want to give you the average information as to what led to that. But the important thing is that we rely heavily on GSM or ICT technology that gave us much of the victory we secure in this.
So along the line, she started chatting up. She got the phone number of Stephanie. According to her, she said she got it from somebody, one Godwin in Makurdi, because she schools in Makurdi. They were both thief by tribe. Both the deceased, the husband, and the suspect. They were all from the same place. So she got the information, the phone number, and started chatting up the lady. Along the line, she pretended to be the last born, who was Anita, always in and out of the country. So through that, she was chatting with her, pretending to be Anita. Then she now promised that she now asked the lady that, let me see the picture of my nephew. So she now said, oh, my phone is bad, so she doesn't have it. And I said, why can't Edward get you a phone? So the lady was now complaining that Edward was not living up to his duty. So from there, she now promised to give her an iPhone, which now brought her to the house to collect the iPhone.
Whosoever that is your friend, wherever you go with a friend, whatever you do with your friend, be cautious. Your friend you are going out with, you don't know who he is, you don't really know him in details, you don't know his intentions. Strange persons cannot be a friend. It's funny that most times we meet persons, say, we're not asking, where is the person we found with? He said, I don't know him. But you saw them drinking together. He said, I don't know where it comes from, I don't know what. So these are strange persons that may bump into you and they want to go out with you, or may want to assist them in doing something you do not even know the meaning or the intention. Be worried about such persons too. Strangers. Don't give lift to strangers. Don't also accept such an offer from a stranger. That may be a one chance operative.
This girl, she's the one that called me, Jennifer, said that I should come and help her. There is one girl she wants to collect her boyfriend from her. So that is, and I don't even know the girl. So when she now called the girl, we were inside waiting for the gate to come. So this my friend go and open the gate for her. I should come. My own work day is just tie the gate and go. Then as I tie the gate with my friend Jaru, who is not here. So as we touch her, we just go and leave her with the Jennifer in the house.
The accommodation is under renovation and is yet to be leased out. So she was taken to one of the rooms in the main building upstairs, and she was locked there. According to the other two suspects with us, that later she asked them to go, that she will contact the husband and demand for ransom of 10 million naira.
So our plan is, she said that she will give us 100,000 when she get the money from her boyfriend. Their boyfriend will give her, we should collect money. So I don't really know how much is that. I don't know how much she's going to collect, but in our discussion is she will give us 100,000.
That will serve as a compensation. Then she will now let the lady go. Then that when she collects the money will now be, she will contact them for them to have their own share. But later in the evening, according to the second suspect, which is Simon Monday, aka Black, he said around 5:36 in the evening of that same 14 that the suspect called him on phone that he should come, there is an emergency. On getting to the building, the suspect led him to the room and now met the lady that she was already dead. And according to him, that substance suspected to be acid was poured on the lady.
In the night, she now called me that I should come and help her. So when I now, the Arsenal is in the phone, and I asked her what happened. She said I should just come. So when I come, I just saw the girl was poured by acid. Then from there, she now said that I should help her. She just like start crying. She said that it's a mistake, it's a devil work. She start crying, holding my leg. I should not go, please, I should not go and leave her. I should help her. I should help her.
The principal suspect, Jenifer Tsembe, now contact one of our colleagues in the office by name Patrick. She told Patrick that she had a boyfriend coming in from States, and she has told the boyfriend that there is need for her to change her car. And the boyfriend now said, okay, when he comes into the country, he would like to see the car so that he will know the type he will change for her. So she told Patrick that. So based on the fact that they were colleagues in the office, Patrick said on trust, he released the car overnight for her. So the car was used to convey that body, because according to the second suspect, which is Simon Monday Black, aka Black, said the car, he was the one that drove the car after they dragged the body into the car, into the booth. So they went round the Maitama Axis and to see that the coast is cleared. That was early hour of 3 a.m. of on the 15th of April. And they dumped the body along Ava Ikoku Street. And she used, while the suspect, the principal suspect, Jennifer, used a cloth to cover the body, and they left.
We have also been able to do a DNA test, because at a point, the parents of the deceased, especially the mother, was doubtful as to whether that was her daughter or not. We went further to confirm that through the DNA test, and that convinced everybody that that was the girl that was missing. The principal suspect we have happens to be a lady at about the same age mate we can estimate with the deceased. From her story, of course, she was very smart. She did all she could to outsmart us, but you will trust that whenever we have such things, we always want to let you know to that we're on top of the game. So we did, and we got all the information we needed from her. And even to the point where they abducted her, tied her hand and leg, and took her to the place where they killed her. The lady used a chemical suspected to be acid. She was denying all this, but I recall when we were interrogating her, we saw on her some marks that although she claimed that was that she had a burn, she fell down from Okada, that's motorcycle, commercial motorcycle, and that she had a burn. So we traced to this point, and when we saw this mark, of course, I personally insisted that this is not a burn from Okada. We also have some other suspects who assisted her. Like, you know, it may not have been easy for her to abduct that lady. Some persons assisted her in doing that, and those ones are also in our custody. We have concluded the investigation, and the prosecution is just around.
Through our conscience, we are alive to our moral principles and motivated to act upon them. Of course, the power to decide to carry out good decisions or bad is in our hands. But society can only thrive when we choose good.
We filed a motion exparte to take them to prison custody. She was remanded to Suleja Correctional Center. While the charge has been filed by the police, and the file was taken to the court, and we're waiting for the dates for the arraignment, proper arraignment in the Federal High Court. Because the motion exparte that took them to remand custody was filed at Magistrates Court. We'll see. So that is, we're waiting for the dates from the higher courts.